Love of the Invisibles. How Ash Found Violet 5. Copyright 2015 by Nazeli Zelian. Drive and explanation. Violet woke up as the car went over a bump. She looked out of the window. They were off-road, green vegetation around, nothing like Southern California. "Where are we?" she asked, looking at Ash, who looked tired but fully concentrated on the road. "Close to Santa Barbara," he said. "Did you have a good sleep?" "Uh-huh," she nodded. Violet looked at the recreational vehicle she was in. "This is his car?" she asked, hesitant to find out what had happened to its owner. "If you are thinking that he is dead, you're mistaken," Ash said. There was no way of hiding anything from him. Violet knew that it would never be. The sun was coming out from behind the hills. It was morning, and Violet had slept all evening and night. "You're very tired, and I didn't want to wake you up, sweetheart," Ash said softly. "And I've screened you. You're doing fine health-wise," he thought. "Oh, that," she said, but chose not to continue. Violet felt the car coming to a halt. Ash turned towards the back of the car and produced a small brown bag. "Fast food, only this once." He smiled and handed it to her. This was the first time that he smiled. Violet thought, how sweet was his smile, how warm and welcoming. And then she stopped thinking. He can read all my thoughts. She looked at him and found his, trying to look innocent, smile. "You know, there's a way to block transmitting your thoughts to others because you're a strong soul. You will soon be able to do it completely. But you have yet a lot to learn," he said, stroking her hair, a gesture that sent small electrical impulses through her body. "Would you tell me what happened?" Violet asked, biting her large sandwich. He started to drive again. "We will get back to the freeway soon. I just wanted to make sure that we're safe." Ash instinctively looked back every other minute into his rear view mirror. Gumper took a strong blow. It was energy force that is rare, but it is almost unbeatable when projected. He stroked her hair without turning his head, still concentrated on the road. "It was you who helped me while I was being stripped of my energy, my life force. You came to rescue." "I did nothing." Val clearly remembered that she just held his hand, nothing else. "That was all it took, my dear sweet girl," he said tenderly. It was overwhelming. Violet never had someone care for her and show it too. "It was well known that you were going to be trained like a soldier, but you had a dominant healer in you. But I took advantage of the soldier force that you didn't know you had. Since you were agitated and enraged, your energy force was at its peak, and I used it since I've lost some of mine at night." He glanced guiltily at her for a second, returning his gaze back to the road. "I knew that a draw like that would wipe you out, but if he defeated me, and he would have, because he is a mad dog, Gumper would have taken you away forever." He held her hand. "I'm sorry." "But he's not dead, you said?" "Yes. He could have not recovered if I didn't send positive healing energy back to his body. But I gave him enough to leave him unconscious as long as it is physically possible. I put him in my car and even covered the windows so he could not be disturbed with any crawling or flying creature," he said, chuckling. "I knew in my heart that you're not able to kill," Violet said. "But for a moment I wanted to," he thought. "Oh, but just for a moment," he said out loud, responding to Violet's strict glance. "Besides, I would be judged by the council of people if I became a killer. Healers are never killers, except when it is for self-defense." If this was not self-defense, what was? Violet thought. He did not respond. They spent more time in silence and in minor thoughts. "You're learning to block your thoughts, my sweet," he said softly. "That is good for others, but once we spend more time together, we will be like one." "What does he mean? What do you mean?" "Oh, I heard you the first time," I smiled. "I mean that the more we get intimate, the more we will be one." Violet's heartbeat escalated a couple of notches. "I felt that, sweetie," he said. "You must not worry. I will explain." "Would you tell me what's going on? I mean, what exactly is going on? Violet was getting impatient. All right, in short words, I'm your biological match to produce perfect offsprings that will have the best quality of energy to heal, hunt, explore, whatever their gifts will be. So I'm a breathing machine? She almost hissed at him. That came out wrong. He corrected himself. I also wanted to say that you are a perfect choice for love, marriage, happiness, a soulmate. Ash talked fast to recover. He stopped the car and turned off the ignition. He stroked her hair with already familiar energy jolt and looked straight into her eyes. Would you remove those contacts for a moment? He asked. She did as he asked, revealing her dark violet eyes. Magnificent. He lowered his voice to a whisper. His gray eyes shined like a mystic universe. You are drawing me deeper and deeper into your soul every minute that passes. And I have fallen for you the first minute I saw you in that spa room of yours. Yes, he's not as articulate when it comes to expressing his romantic feelings, Violet thought. You just have read too many romantic books, he said, but the magic trance was over. It was a good decoy to conceal what Violet was feeling. She was yet to admit to herself that she was head over heels in love with Ash. Why else would she go to the end of the world with him without questioning anything, leaving her business, her life as she knew it, and roaming on unknown road with crazy new realities happening every minute? With him she felt excited, fascinated, mesmerized, and she was never afraid of him. She never felt safer with anyone but Ash. Ash did not try to penetrate her thoughts. They were best left alone for the moment. He had to put things right, get her through Canadian border. There was the legalities, the road, and her safety to worry about before she would tend to the matters of the heart. I have so many questions to ask you, Violet said, looking out of the window. All in time, Ash replied. But I know that you want to know about Gumper first. Violet did not move. Violet, when you saw him, what did you feel? Violet closed her eyes, and suddenly all she felt around Gumper came to her view. Violet? Ash inquired. What is this energy signal? She was silent. Did you feel for him what you felt for me when you met him? Ash asked slowly. She wasn't sure if she told him that she felt an incredible magnetism towards Gumper will anger or hurt Ash. Yes, I guess I knew that will excite you, but I was making myself deny the thought. Violet felt guilty, as if she betrayed Ash for a moment when she was engulfed in Gumper's power. I knew it would happen. I'm glad I didn't witness all of it. I didn't know what I would have done. Maybe I would have killed him out of jealousy? Violet said. Yes, I was jealous, he said, his eyes slowly turning to light gray. I am jealous, Ash stated. Violet did not know how to respond. Should she be happy? Was jealousy a response to one's love for another, or was it an incurable possessive disease? And yet, it felt good, somehow, that the man she cared for, that ironically she met a day before and made love to, showed so many feelings towards her. That man, Gumper, he's your second best match. It is hard for me to state those words, but if you felt a draw to him like you felt for me, then it is truly he. I was warned about Gumper. He will try to get what he wants, and he wants you. He is a strong warrior, and it is hard to even say. He hesitated for a second. If Gumper mates with you and produces a girl, she will be the strongest warrior of the Invisibles. You must explain it more in detail, please, Violet asked, not knowing what to make of it yet. There is so much to explain, but for the start, I will say that Gumper is Refi's friend. Refi's family is a great ancient family that has done good and lived by the Invisible's law till Refi's time. Refi wants to defy all laws of the invisibles, us, and interfere with the first kind, the city people. People that you have been adopted to and lived with until now. He became greedy and wanted to be ruled by money and power and not doing good. Define good? Violet asked. Helping our brothers on the other branch of the tree, humans that inhabit the earth, helping each other and living neutral life. We, the invisibles, are called thus for two reasons. First, because we don't want to be widely known to city people inhabiting earth and want to live invisible lives. And second, that we have ability to change our colors and even get very translucent in some environments, so much to become somewhat blended with nature, but not completely so. We have evolved to different species of humankind that uses sun's power through photosynthesis. Our melanin pigment in our body has developed thus to change not even tone but color levels all over our body based on the intensity of the sun's ultraviolet rays. That's why some outsiders call us sun people, and the world has stuck. The top government officials know about us and have agreements with the Council of People, our leaders, but we are called to help when there is need for extra senses intelligence, finding cure for diseases, solving problems. There are many of us in many countries, but each family line of the invisibles have millennium-long heritage. You come from a very powerful family, the most powerful, I will admit. But why was I with people, I mean the city people I lived with? Violet asked, strangely realizing that somehow she was now categorizing herself as the new invisible mankind than the other humans that were the humans for all of her life until she met Ash. You were kidnapped, Ash said. What? Why? For you would not marry Gumper as you were intended by your uncle, he said solemnly, realizing what Violet missed out because of that, her family, her people, knowing her origins and heritage. And the worst thing was that he knew who kidnapped her, but he would not tell her, not yet. Please tell me more, she asked, and can you stop somewhere to refresh a little if you see a sign on the road for a gas station? Okay, Ash agreed. Remember Refi? It was he who was in your car yesterday. Oh my God! Yes, he would have taken you back if I didn't take you away. It was hard to locate and read you when you were in an area saturated with a lot of people. All their thoughts would interfere with yours in the searching channels of our mind. I located you because of my senses. Please don't look at me like that. Yes, I use my animal instinct. It is like a male senses the female pheromones, but it is more like a matching energy than scent. Sorry, but that is what Gumper used to find you too. She heard the anger in his voice, but since his eyes have turned darker gray, and not the husky eyes she saw the day before, she knew he was fine this time. They would have simply married, mated you, and made you a breeding machine for children to use for their purpose. The Council of People has warned Refi to abandon his ambitions to become a city people ruler, and believe me, he has power to do it. He had sworn to obey, but as you see, his actions speak otherwise. While our leaders are going on with their lives unsuspected, he's after his goal. You might think, what harm is it for an invisible to become a political leader in another way of life, but he will put all of us into spotlight. Last time it happened around 1800s, the invisible in question who wanted to show his energy power was dissected like a science specimen for research purposes after human scientists of the time got hold of his body. Then the French War started in 1812 and the attention went to Napoleon. You must also ask that we are stronger than humans and we have nothing to fear, but have you seen how a battalion of warriors in an ant colony can bring down a creature 1,000 times larger and stronger than them? We are peaceful people. We never had war. There are many of us, but compared to non-invisible race, our numbers are small. Where are thousands when there are billions? We want to continue as we are. And this is why you came after me? Violet said. There must be other girls that could have suited Refi's design. You're mistaken. It is only you, the right energy, the right match with one of the strongest energy power. And then you have excellent heritage, the most powerful family. You know my family? Violet asked excitedly. She never had a sense of family being passed from home to home. I will tell you in time. This is enough for now. He said it in such a tone that Violet did not find strength to contest. Ash saw that this information would take time to be absorbed and accepted, so he pulled into the nearby gas station. The sign says public bathroom. Let's see. That way, sweetheart. He was so gentle and protective, as if Violet was ready to deliver. It couldn't be true that she would be pregnant, Violet thought. No technology and science has come ever close to determine it in such an early stage. Not the normal human science. Some people healers know better. Ash started proudly and trying to change the subject. Want some ice cream? He asked.